All right, today is May 26, 2014. Let's take a look at some of these momentum stock before the market resume trading tomorrow. First up is the Apple. Ever since Apple gapped out on this earning report, it came up and sort of consolidated between this 580 area to the to the 600 level. So right now, you see this consolidation here, and then then finally it kind of broke through that 600 601, and now it's made its way up to this 614 level. So the next possible resistance level, essentially we're basically looking at maybe somewhere around this particular pivot high here, or this level here. Right? And this is basically somewhere around the 615, and this right here somewhere around 626, 625, 26 area. So those are the couple possible resistance level that we might want to keep an eye on. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that Apple might pull back a little bit and kind of consolidate near this level here. So essentially this is the somewhere around the 607 area. So in the coming day, that wouldn't be surprising to see it pull back, because if we look at the this chart here, you can see it's been up for 6 consecutive days. So it's a little bit extended. So we got to be prepared for a possible a little bit of a profit taking, and then kind of a little bit of a pullback. Then the next one is Netflix, and if you have seen my video on about a week and a half ago, I believe, on the trade preparation, and we're talking about preparing a swing trade, and I was using Netflix to illustrate that. Let me take these moving average out and get a cleaner chart. At the time we were talking about this particular break on this trend line here, this area here, and this price action. And this price action is actually formed at a little bit of a pennant, right? And we had a major move that actually project it up to this particular level. And you can see that it went through that level. Right now it seems to be coming up here, maybe possibly bumping up against resistance somewhere around this area here. Okay, so it kind of broke through on this level, and now we're essentially sort of looking at the possibility of maybe about 410 to 412 level, in this area here. Because if we take a look at these level here, the high is 412.14, and this way here is 412.15. So essentially, we're looking at maybe possibility of moving up to a 412. But once again, just like Apple, it's pretty extended. If we take a look at the this chart here, 246. So we got 6 consecutive up there already. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Netflix maybe pull back to this area and try to retest this 380, 381 before it resume, maybe coming up and hit this level here, right? To possibly get up to this level. Okay, so wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a pullback, because a lot of things basically kind of got extended last week. Same thing with Google. We're also looking at Google here. Let's go back to a candlestick chart here, and we're looking at breaking out of this trend line. You see this break this pivot here, and also book this trend line. So there's two possible entry point for a little bit of a swing trade, and right now essentially it's bumping up against this particular resistance now. Okay, so again, you can see that there's 2, 4, 5 consecutive straight up days. So again, we probably wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a pullback, and maybe possibly pulling back to this level here, somewhere around the 547, the 548 area. Okay, and between 548 and this particular pivot here, this 544. So these are the two possible pullback support, because right now it's getting up to this resistance, and so kind of keep an eye on that. Maybe not saying that it can't go higher, but here's the next level of resistance if we could break through this area here. Okay. Then we got Amazon also. Amazon is breaking out on this trend line as well, because you see here kind of broke out of this trend, and also a little bit of a confluence with this pivot as well. So might be seeing Amazon to see could it break this resistance. If it could, then it might come up and fill this gap and possibly make it up here to this 340. So, and looking at Facebook, Facebook is also, got a little bump ever since they came down and filled this, this price gap here. Right? So right now it seems to try to make its way up to the 64, because it's also got a nice low, kind of, broke out of this trend here and got above this little pivot. So maybe it will try to get, test this pivot point. If we get up there, then possibly make it up to the 64, because we got some resistance here at the 64 level. Okay. And on Twitter, let's take a look at Twitter. Twitter is really weak. You can see there's about 9, I believe this is 9 consecutive down day here. And if we also take a look at the 50-day moving average, you see it's still, sloping down, and also the 20 EMA. So definitely, got a little nice bump here. But other than that, it's really haven't shown much of a strength or any possibility of a near-term turnaround, reversing the trend. So it seems like you want to come back down and retest this level somewhere, in the 29 area. And don't be surprised that this thing might make it down to and test that IPO price of 26. Right? There's always that possibility, that thing, this thing could go down there to that 26. And it's no need to rush on this thing. If it's going to reverse and come try to make it back up here on a long term to this 75 area, there's going to be a lot of opportunity and possibility for, anyone that want to trade Twitter to make money. Right now, it's so iffy. It's basically just trying to catch a falling knife or do a little bit of a bottom fishing, and that's always kind of dangerous. If it break this 29 and change, we don't know how low it's going to go. Right? So, and then the other one is Celgene. Celgene, all these biotech kind of got battened a little bit recently, but it seems like Celgene might be, making a little bit of a bounce here, and it could be breaking out of this, this little wedge here. So it's kind of converging on this apex here. So it's all depends which way you're going to break. Right? So if you're going to break up or you're going to break down. Okay, so you might want to keep an eye on that if you want to trade this thing, because here's this little pivot. If you could break about this resistance, and here's the breakdown. If it break this trend line, right, then so those, you could keep an eye on this and then just manage the trade with your stop loss, just in case, it do a little bit of a fake out. And then finally, taking a look at Tesla. Again, Tesla seems to be holding well, holding above this particular level here. Got a little bounce off of the 200, 200-day moving average here, essentially, pretty much near this these pivot here. Right. So right now, with the, Tesla, essentially, the key thing is 220. Right, this particular pivot. If you could break this trend line, then look for the possibility, and this trend line was also break above the 50-day moving average. Then look at the possibility of making us move up to this 220. Because that's probably will pose some resistance there. Okay, so those are some of the momentum stock that might want to keep an eye on for the coming weeks. Certainly, a lot of them is overextended because of last week. The upward movement on some of these high beta stock. So just have to be careful, and good luck on your trading next week.